Hello, my name is Nancy. I'm an educator, a lifelong learner, a mother, a grandmother, and I'm the author of this book, Keeping Kids and Teens Safe and Happy, Helpful Tips for Parents and Grandparents. And I wrote this book to help families, to help them recognize and be mindful of the dangers that their children can encounter in the home, in the outdoors, and even in their own backyards. So today I'm very happy to have on set with me Shari Merrill, who is the head of adult services at the Clare Booth Library, and we're very happy to have her here. And in a few minutes, we're going to talk about the library and some of the great programs that she's involved with. But first I want to talk about a little personal experience, because in the last 2 weeks, it's been a very difficult time for me and for my husband as well. He had to have heart surgery. It took place at the Yale New Haven Hospital, and I was in the ICU, the cardiac ICU, for many days with him, and I observed a lot there. And I wanted to tie that experience into a topic I've spoken about many times, and that topic is the importance of good nutrition, the importance of exercise. And so in that experience that we had at the cardiac ICU, I noticed that the patients were not happy, of course. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, you know. They were recovering from surgery. That's why they were in the cardiac ICU. And our health is the most important thing that we have. I mean, that's obvious enough. But I had a lot of time to think about that. I was visiting the ICU for 5 days, and I thought a lot about it. You know, the doctors and the healthcare professionals, the nurses, they must get used to it. But as someone who had never been in a cardiac ICU, and I have never been there before, it was rather shocking to me of what people have to go through who have these heart operations. And luckily, you know, modern medicine is really amazing, and the things that these surgeons can do. And I'm very happy to report that my husband is doing well, and we're very, very grateful. But it was a scary time. And so I wanted to bring this up because I think it's so important, the choices that we make every day, the choices of what we're going to eat and what we're going to do. And I think that if you eat nutritional foods as best you can, it really is going to help you. It's going to help you throughout your whole life. Nutrient-dense foods. And of course, we want to have sweets sometimes, but we have to limit ultra-processed foods, highly processed foods, and sweets and alcohol as well. So I just wanted to bring that up today because of my experience that I just had in the last 2 weeks. Also, exercise is so, so important. Just even walking every day can really make a difference in your overall health. So just be mindful of how much exercise you're getting and also what you're eating. And I hope everyone will stay healthy, and healthy means happy. So I just wanted to discuss that because I think it is so important. I've spoken about good nutrition in the past as well. And now I would like to introduce Shari Merrill, who is the head of adult services at the C.H. Booth Library in Newtown, Connecticut. Welcome to the show, Shari.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for inviting me here.
I'm very happy to have you. I love the library. I visit often, which is where I've met you. I'm very happy that my book, if you'd like to read my book is at the library, so a copy of it is in the collection there, and that was a great thrill for me. I love books. As head of the adult services at the C.H. Booth Library, what kinds of programs and events are you involved in organizing?
Oh, sure. So I have a couple of book clubs that I host each month. One is a cookbook club, so we choose one book per month and everyone selects a recipe, and then they bring their prepared recipe to the book club, and we have a potluck, so that's one event. I have a second kind of more typical book club. We meet monthly as well. Every week, create a newsletter, and it's targeted for job seekers and small business owners. So it has some resources and events that are local, so some job fairs and some other, I kind of curate those resources for people. And we have a specific digital platform at the library called Job Now. And people can get free help with their resumes, with cover letters, with interviews, with the use of their library card. So that's a really wonderful, it's new, it's a wonderful platform. We have a monthly therapy dog program. So they were just at the library last night, and a handful of dogs and their handlers come to the library. It's open to everyone who would like to attend. They're really sweet animals, very loving, it's a very happy event. So I encourage anyone who wants to join. It's usually the third Tuesday of the month. This month was a little different. We also, just this month, had a craft supply exchange. So we invited local residents to donate materials that they haven't used or were not going to use. And we organized and sorted everything. And then the following week, invited residents to come and shop for new to you items. So that was a lot of fun. It went pretty well. We had so many different materials, and I think people really enjoyed kind of refreshing their own collections. So that was nice and free. Yeah, so those are a few. We had, this weekend as well, we had a volunteer fair. So we collaborated with FONS, or Friends of Newtown Seniors, and also the Newtown Senior Center. It was a co-sponsored event, and it took place at the library. So about 20 organizations in town came and set up their tables, and we invited patrons and residents to come in and meet with the members of the organizations to learn about possible volunteer opportunities. So those are just
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had so many great events. I was just involved with one of the events that you had. Why don't you tell the viewers about the poetry reception, which I attended with other poets from Newtown and the local community. It took place on Saturday, April 11th. It was well attended. So you want to tell a little bit about that event?
Sure, thank you, and thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure to read and hear your poetry. So local poets are invited to come to the event and read or recite their poems. We have it on a Saturday typically. This is the third year that we've had the event, and yeah, it feels like a very safe and supportive program. I feel like the participants are very encouraging to the poets, and it's completely optional if you want to share your work or if you would rather just listen and be a spectator. And it's at the library in the meeting room. That's where we held it this year.
Yes, it was wonderful. And
thank you.
I told the poets when I went up to read my poem that you're really bearing your soul
Absolutely.
when you write poetry and then when you read it. And it was just, it was a beautiful thing to see how people express themselves and the creativity and the heartfelt messages that were in those poems. And I said that day, and I really meant that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of courage involved with the people who share. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, yes, it was very courageous. This is a little poem that I wrote that I shared that day. It's called Simple Pleasures. Simple pleasures calm the soul. A walk in nature, a child's laughter, a gesture of kindness calm the soul. A hug, a compliment or prayer. Morning sunshine, rays of light. Goodness spread and goodness kept. Simple pleasures calm the soul. So I would encourage people to try writing poetry. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be stream of consciousness, just what's in your mind. But poetry can be healing to write poetry.
And may I add, there's so many different levels at the event as well. I feel like there are people who are just starting out and trying it for the first time, and then there are published poets as well. And the age range, it's been anywhere from children who are 8 years old to people who are in their 80s. So
yes.
It's,
Yes, it's wonderful. Now, I met there that day the Poet Laureate of Newtown. Would you tell us who the Poet Laureate of Newtown
absolutely.
is?
So Lauren Clifford is Newtown's Poet Laureate, and she was appointed the position, I believe, in 2024. The Board of Selectmen, they choose the Poet Laureate, and the Newtown Cultural Commission, they accept applications and suggest the laureate to the Board of Selectmen. So she is the current Poet Laureate, and she has curated a collection of her own poetry, and it's all relating to the 250th anniversary of our country. So she's going to be sharing those poems sometime soon.
Yes, so I would love to get her to come on the show and read that beautiful poem that she wrote for the 250th anniversary.
That'd be wonderful.
I'm going to contact her. So that was wonderful. Why don't you tell us about the poetry walk at Fairfield Hills? Who contributes and how long it stays up for? I'm amazed that you put that up yourself, or your husband helps you.
My husband does a lot of it. Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
So thank you for asking. This is the third year again, and it's linked with the poetry reception. So everyone who has contributed or submitted poems for the poetry walk is also invited to the reception. We had about 80 poems, I want to say, this year. I believe there were over 30 poets who submitted, and we have over 20 signs that line the fruit trail at Fairfield Hills campus. They're double-sided, and they're printed and on display from the beginning of April through actually today. I'm going to start taking it down today because it's, we have a permit that we have to complete with the town, so time is up now that it's the end of April. But yes, my husband is thankfully very involved with that part of the process.
Yes, it's a big job to put up all those poems. But it's wonderful, and I love walking and seeing, all people's poems displayed like that. I think it's a great thing to do. Do you have personal events at the library as well as on Zoom?
So there are in-person events, absolutely, and then we have some Zoom. So right now, Lily McHugh is the adult programmer, and she does both. She balances both. I don't have any Zoom events right now, but she has a weekly exercise program called Flex and Balance. I think it's at 10:30 on Wednesday mornings. She has a couple of speakers, one who's named Tony McKean and another John Cilio, and they do regular lectures on, it's usually on the arts and humanities, sometimes science as well. Sometimes the topics have to do with science, but yes, absolutely. She has a regularly occurring schedule of Zoom programs. And she's got an in-person program coming up on sourdough bread, how to make it. So yes, we do both, for sure.
You do both. Yes, I've listened to Tony McKean and the other speakers because they speak about art a lot.
Yes.
And I love art. And it's wonderful because you can just watch from at home. And she's done some wonderful programs.
Yes, so it started with the pandemic. We went virtual. That was, what we were able to do, and it stuck. A lot of people were very comfortable with that format, so we've continued with it.
Yes, and you don't have to even live in Newtown.
No,
right?
Absolutely not.
You can live anywhere, and you can just register, check the website.
Yes.
The library's website, and you'll really learn a lot. I love the Zoom lectures on art and history. There are some on history.
Absolutely.
There are wonderful ones. On June 13th, there's going to be a library authors fair at the library. I'm going to attend. If anybody would like to meet me and come out and meet me, I will be there. So tell us a little bit about the library authors fair.
Sure. So Kathy Filiata is she's organizing that event and has invited local authors who have published books to attend. It's actually full now, so she has a complete roster of the authors. It's optional for the authors to read or speak to the group. There's going to be time to meet with other authors, and we would love to have attendees come to support our local authors and to hear them speak. And I believe there's going to be some book signings as well. So yeah, it should be a very nice event.
And book sales as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, thank you for coming. That's wonderful.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad she reached out to me. I just want to read a little bit because in the book, the second part of the book is how to keep kids happy and healthy and fulfilled. And chapter 28 is entitled Poetry, Literature, and Instilling a Love for Reading. And I've always loved to read, and I think it's very important for children to have a love of reading. especially in the modern world where there's so many distractions, so much social media influence. It's very important to give your children a love of reading. And this is, I'm going to read a little bit. Encouraging children to read and giving them an appreciation for children's poetry, literature, fiction, historical fiction, nonfiction, biography, fantasy, and other genres is giving them a gift. Before bedtime is a good time to instill a love of reading by reading to your young children, and when they're old enough to read, have them read to a younger sibling. Reading is relaxing and has health benefits as well. Even reading a book for a short period of time can reduce stress levels, lessen anxiety, ease muscle tension, and lower heart rate, according to a study. My grandchildren love when I read to them, and it was such a thrill when my grandchildren started reading to me. Public libraries are an amazing gift to communities and society. Children can be introduced to exciting, adventurous, educational material from different cultures by simply taking out a library book from their local library. As a child, I was a bookworm. My family did not travel a lot except for summer trips to upstate New York and a few family trips to Florida, but a culturally rich, diverse world was open to me through the books I read and cherished. A trip to a library or bookstore can be a treat for children. If your child likes to collect books, library book sales offer a variety of books at a great discount. And I just want to talk about the library is going to have a sale, right? That's coming up?
Absolutely. The Friends of the Library organize that event every year. It's one of the biggest in New England. It is, the proceeds go to the library and help us with programming. They have, I want to say it's like 100,000 different items. It's at Reed Intermediate School. And this year, I believe it's July 10th through the 14th. So the Friends have their separate website. It's boothbooksale.org, and you can learn more information. They have their flyer. They just posted it recently, and flyers will also be in the library soon to have all of the dates and times and details for everyone. But yeah, it's a wonderful event.
Yes.
And you can absolutely get some great deals on new and gently used books, puzzles. They have some graphic novels. They have a lot to offer, for sure. So
Good. So think about bringing your children there.
Absolutely.
They can pick out a book, and it could be help the library. So it would be very good for them. Do you think it's a challenge, Shari, in today's world with cell phones and the prevalence of social media to get children to read, to have a love of reading? What do you think about that?
I'm a parent, and so I can speak from that experience, and I think the challenge is real. Phones are everywhere, screens are everywhere, and they're enticing. It's real. So what my husband and I try to do really is just, personally, we try to find ways kind of to work with technology. So my daughter likes audiobooks, and she does like to read. She's kind of drawn to graphic novels right now, but we work with that, and then we work with audiobooks, so she can use the devices to listen to things for free too. With the library's access, she can listen to audiobooks through Hoopla, and we try to work with technology when we can, and then also try to model just reading as well, because I agree, I think it's very important to read and to raise readers as well. So
Yes. My granddaughter loves books, and one of the things that my son and daughter-in-law did was they limited TV, and they limited when they were young, and they limited screen time.
Absolutely.
And so all she had was books.
Absolutely.
And that really gave her a love of books, and I love it when she walks around the house sometimes, like with a book, reading, as she's walking around the house. And I just love it because I love books, and so I'm so happy.
I love that. And I love how you said she started to read to you as well, because that is one way we can get our daughter to read more. She enjoys reading to us. If she's reading, she's an only child, so when she's reading on her own, it's a quiet, kind of isolating activity, and she likes to be with people since she is the only child. So that's a great way also to encourage reading, is to have her read to us. So
Yes.
yeah, and the library also has, they're called Wonder Books. Again, if you have a child who enjoys the audiobooks, and they are a physical book, with the audio component built right in, so they can read and listen at the same time. It's nice for, different learners, for sure.
That's wonderful. Very
yeah, they
good.
have a nice collection, assortment of those.
Wonderful. That's great. Yes. There's so much you can learn from books, and as I said, I've always been a reader, and I've always loved books, and I'm in a book club in Newtown,
Oh, nice.
and so I enjoy that. I'm in a women's book club, and we meet and we discuss a different novel each month, and I think it's really good, and it's really good for your brain. It's healthy.
Absolutely.
Reading is very good, very stimulating to build more neurons in your brain, so it's actually good for you.
I agree, and it's not passive. I feel like all the screens that's very passive. Those activities you're just receiving, and you're not making necessarily those connections and creating and using your imagination. So I agree. I think reading is very important.
Yes, it is. It is. I wanted to ask you if you've ever been to the Emily Dickinson House Museum in Amherst, Massachusetts.
No, I have not.
Okay.
No.
Well, I think that I just want to suggest to the audience, I went there last year. My husband and I made a day trip there, and it was just wonderful. It's in Amherst, Massachusetts, and it's the actual house where Emily Dickinson, the American poet, where she was born and where she lived with her family. She became reclusive in her lifetime. Nobody really knows why she became reclusive, but I had a chance to be in the bedroom where she wrote 1,800 poems. Only a few were published in her lifetime, but it was such a thrill. And in the next show, I'm going to talk about taking day trips because, not all families can afford vacations. But a day trip, there are so many excellent things to do in Connecticut, and of course, the whole tri-state area, New York City as well. And so I was just thrilled to be, as I said, on this tour. You have to take a tour at the homestead, and just to be in the room where she wrote all those poems was just very exciting for me. I love her poetry. I just want to read a poem that she wrote. It's called I'm Nobody, Who Are You? I'm nobody, who are you? Are you nobody too? Don't tell, they'd banish us, you know. How dreary to be somebody, how public like a frog, to tell your name the livelong June to an admiring bog. Emily Dickinson. So, so that was a great little trip.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And there's also a Mark Twain house.
Oh, I've been, that's
have you
a
been
great
there?
trip. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's my next place that I would like to go. So,
May
Shari,
I just add one thing with day trips? So we did not go away over this last break. My husband's a teacher, and he had a separate break from my daughter. They were on different schedules, so I took my daughter on some day trips. And actually right now there's something called Passports to Connecticut Libraries, and you can go into any library that's participating, get a passport, and then you travel to other libraries and get a stamp, and they usually give you a little incentive with it. But just going to libraries, my daughter and I had so much fun. One library up in it was Simsbury Library, had a board, since it's also National Poetry Month, the board had words to create, the magnetic tiles, so you could create your own poems. And then another library we went to in Madison, Scranton Library, had the makerspace wide open, so we went in and painted. So again, free activities that are widely available and within an hour's drive. And if you're going to explore a town, pop into the libraries. I think it will wrap up in the end of, or the middle of May, I think, the Passport to the Libraries program.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I didn't even know about that.
It's
Thank
fun.
you for mentioning it.
You're
yes.
very welcome. Yeah.
Yes, there's so many wonderful things. As I've been, when I wrote the book, and I started, exploring the different things that you can do in Connecticut, and also the whole tri-state area. It's just a wonderful opportunity. There's so much here, and I'm always finding new things as well.
Wonderful.
Well, Shari, it's been a pleasure having you. It was really great to have you on the show.
Thank you so
and
much,
It's so
Nancy.
nice that we met at the library, and I'll be seeing you, of course, at the events that are coming up.
Oh, good. I hope so.
And thank you for doing the Fairfield event that you do.
You're
all
so
the work you
welcome.
put into displaying all the poems.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So thanks so much, and I will be seeing you at the library.
Wonderful.
And I hope everyone will make use out of the resources that are in our library and other libraries as well. And as I always do, I'm going to end this show with these final thoughts and blessings. And please read the dedication at the end of this show. My book and this TV series are dedicated to children, and so they're very close to my heart. May I live with peace, and may you live with peace. May I live with goodness, and may you live with goodness. May I be kind to others, and may you be kind to others. May I be a healing presence for others, and may you be a healing presence for others. May I find meaning and purpose in my life, and may you find meaning and purpose in your life. May I remember to be grateful, and may you remember to be grateful. I would like to thank Western Connecticut Community TV for their training and ongoing support. Thank you for watching the show. See you next time.